Hey guys, this is DK Spencer. So I've been kind of under the weather for a few days, so I've not got a lot of stuff out there, but I've wanted to do this for a while, and I know a lot of people just don't they just don't understand how to make ballistic gel. And if you Google how to make ballistic gel, you'll understand why once you watch this video, why most people mess up. Because when you Google how to make ballistic gel, it's going to tell you a step that if you do it the way they tell you to do it, you're going to have gross looking ballistic gel. It's not going to be as clear as it should be. There's another trick to it that people don't show you either. They show you the really hard way and explain why you have to do it the really hard way. I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it, which still takes some time, but it's ridiculously better than the other ways that people are doing it. So, number one, you do not have to use Knox gelatin. Matter of fact, you can use the Walmart brand, or this is what I like. This is much clearer than Knox gelatin. It's got the same consistency, and I'll show you. So I get that on Amazon. I know we've not done this for a while. Anybody who doesn't know my channel, because I figure a lot of people that don't follow me will come across this just looking for how to make ballistic gel. Any of you guys that don't know me, check out my other videos and stuff. This piece sitting up here is just for fun and stupidity. I mean, you know. But I've got quite a lot of less lethal stuff. And when I do a video that pertains to other subject matter, I get people coming in telling me all the stuff I need to buy, and I'm like, oh, but I've got that already. Go look at the videos. It's cool. Look, I've got one that's more powerful than one you're telling me to get. So here's what we're gonna do. By the way, that's a 54 or 56. 1100 psi tank. It farts once in a while, but it still rocks and rolls when you need it to. It's basically pushing the edge of the envelope. I really don't run it with the SiGuard and the EOTech though. That was just to be funny. All right, so here's what you need. You need a container that you're going to do your mold in. You need a container that you're going to do your mixing in. You need a bag of this, or you need some of that. And I think you need more than 2 boxes. I'll give you the breakdown in the description. For this, you're going to need 2 gallons of water and this, and then something else. Alright, this right here is the thing people don't tell you about. There's video after video of people explaining why that you need to wear your arm out mixing this stuff in so ultra slowly and blah blah blah. Well, all that is correct, except for you don't have to do it manually. Alright, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get 2 gallons of really warm water. Okay, so I'm back. A little different eye candy there. So, and for the person who complained about my sound so many times, I really hope that this has remedied that situation. So let me know. Of course, I'm like sick and sound like crap, but let me know if you can at least hear the sound better. Definitely upgraded. So 2 gallons. Now, here's the thing. There's 2 things that mess up, well, there's 3 things, but there's 2 things during this stage that mess up your ballistic gel. Number 1 is mixing it too fast and getting air bubbles in it. That everybody talks about. Then other people will talk about the other thing, but it seems like not many people put the 2 together. So there's a clumping that can happen, and here's what it is. This stuff can get airlocked in the liquid, and it's really weird, but you can actually get clumps of it that will clump up so tight that you just basically cannot break them up. And that happens from putting it in too fast and not letting it dissolve properly. So you would think that you could just turn around and just dump that in there and go to town. But if you do that, you will have some really, really crappy ballistic gel. So what you want to do, I'll end up spilling all this before it's over with. But what you want to do is get you something you can easily manipulate the amount coming out of it. You want to make sure that this is on the lowest setting possible and don't hit your little turbo button. Alright, go ahead and put that in like that. So we're not getting a bunch of air bubbles, you see that? This right here though, you want to have it up enough where it's going to suck that stuff in. But not up enough to where you're making a whirlpool and getting air bubbles. And that's that happy medium that you got to find. And then, see that right there? That's it. And then the other happy medium that you got to do, and this is hard for me especially because I have no patience. But the other happy medium that you have to do is to never sprinkle enough of this stuff at any time for it to be able to clump together. Now if you start getting a couple little air bubbles, don't freak out. Big bubbles like that, whatever, that's different. So imagine like feeding fish, you know, but the thing of it is, if you're always just putting a skimming on the top of it, right? And you can come up, you know, and bring it down in there, as long as you don't get too many air bubbles. Now, see, when I sprinkle it, this is really important. I was getting a little ahead of myself there, but when I sprinkle it, like on the surface like that, right? All right. So this is like the devil in the detail kind of thing. All right. Watch it. Start you seeing it dissolve on the surface. If you start making sure it's dissolving on the surface before you get too ahead of yourself, that's also going to prevent, your big clumps. Clumps are worse than air bubbles. Clumps are a pain in the butt. And clumps lose product. Now, to the people who do this by hand for, 2 hours or whatever, hats off to you. But you definitely do not need to. Do it by hand. You just need to watch what you're doing. Now that right there, see what I did? I got ahead of myself. That was not good. Will that be a big problem? Probably not. But if I'd have had the whole surface coated with stuff, that would have been a big problem. So if you can get it like the perfect little place, alright, see, that's, you got it. Any more, if I start putting any more right now, it's gonna start making clumps. We're still definitely good, but you guys can see what I'm talking about. See how it's trying to clump already? And you will get some, don't get me wrong, you're gonna get clumps. But the key is the drastically minimize that. And you can wait, like you can seriously, you can like clump up like probably 1/8 of the bag if you poured it in like really fast. You could probably lose 1/8 of the bag to just clumps. Probably more than that actually. Because I think you can do about that much, just being kind of haphazard. If you just dumped it all in at one time, it would be bad. Wear gloves, put down a trash bag, because this stuff is impossible to get off of anything once it's hard. Like it's a real pain in the butt. But see what we're back to? We still got a good surface up at the top. Getting little bubbles, but I'm gonna chill and they'll go away. And big bubbles are not as bad as little bubbles. Alright, so one other thing, I'm gonna go ahead and get what we've done so far mixed in. And I'm not gonna do this whole thing, at least not normal speed. I might do a time lapse or something, I don't know. Because it takes time. Ballistic gel is not something that if you're gonna do it right, you can't just hurry up and do it. So anyway, what I'm gonna do real quick, and that's kind of, as long as it's just on the surface, you're good. So cinnamon oil. Get you some cinnamon oil. All right. Well, that came a lot more out than I meant to. Let's see, it's 1, 2, 3. I was gonna put like 4 or 5 drops, but I think I got quite a bit more than that. That's okay. My wife actually said that she didn't miss the mess of this, but that she missed the smell of it, even though she don't really like cinnamon. But I was doing a lot of ballistic gel stuff when she was pregnant, and it reminds her of being pregnant. So I thought that was pretty cool. So she didn't argue with me about making ballistic gel tonight. Plus, I don't really feel like doing anything else. So, all right, I'm going to keep mixing this stuff up. Now, what the cinnamon does, that's actually going to help break the surface tension and help you get less bubbles and stuff. I don't know if it's going to really help with the clumping, but it'll help with the bubbles and helps with the clarity. So that's what the deal is with that, and it makes it smell real nice too. So, all right. Alright, so far, here's what I want you guys to take away from this. Don't worry so much about the bubbles, but watch for the stuff. If you never put a thick coat, see what I'm doing there? I figured you guys would want to watch it like in not super fast, But basically only dust the surface and make sure all the clumps of stuff are off of the surface and dissolved before you put any more. And you can see the difference between the air bubbles and the clumps of what I'm talking about. But if they ever get big enough, you're screwed. But see, as long as it's a gentle little light dusting like that, alright, and then work it in. But just don't get in a hurry. But what'll happen, like if you get in a hurry and stuff, so it's really weird. Like they'll just start, you know, going through the mixer and spitting it back out the other side. Clump of stuff, you know. You can do your gel, you can set your mold, whatever. And there'll be these clumps in there. You can pull them out, and they'll be like absolutely dry dust powder on the inside of them. See, that I got to be careful over there. I don't want to suck that in too much. I got it a little thick right there. So don't do it by hand. Use the lowest setting possible. Alright, so check it out. If we were doing a true 10% recipe with this, I think it would come out to like 2.46 gallons of water. We're only doing 2 gallons, so this is going to be a little stronger than what most people use this ballistic gel to start with. Okay, there's a reason I do it like that. Because number one, when it starts discoloring a little bit, I can add in some hydrogen peroxide, like a big bottle or a couple of big bottles of hydrogen peroxide when I remelt it. Now don't forget, you can use this over and over and over for quite a while if you take care of it. You want to use it cold. And then if you will, like after you use it, if you'll immediately pull the stuff out of it and put the pieces in the refrigerator, or immediately go ahead and remelt them, and you have to do it with a double pot method, double boiler method. And actually, what I use here is that right now, a hot plate, so that I don't get this crap all over like the good like stove and stuff. So I use a hot plate and that pan, and there's a little plastic thing inside that pan or pot, a plastic pot inside the big metal pot, and I'll just put water in the metal one, and then put the chunks of this stuff, and I'll do like about a quarter of the block at a time or whatever, melt it down, and then put it back and whatever. Now, you want to know where everybody messes up? Because they say to spray your container or your mold or whatever with cooking spray. That's not what you do. That's the best way to mess up. That will cause you to have a yellowy, brown, dingy looking block every time. That's the worst thing you can do. You want, number one, and so there's one video out there that the person, like they put the freaking cooking oil in this thing before they do all this right here. So it's just mixed in with it. That's just no, that makes no sense. But do not use cooking spray. Do not use PAM. You cannot control it, and it's not good enough. You want to get the bestest, most clearestest, extra virginest olive oils that you can possibly find. So splurge a little. Get you some good olive oil. That better be my Terminator arriving after God knows how long. So anyway, hold that thought. Okay, so anyway, you want to, well, I'll show you when we get there. But yeah, go ahead and have you some olive oil, some really good olive oil. See, that's about a no-no right there. I'm having to really baby that one. So y'all kind of getting the idea now of the technique of it. I think I did a bad job explaining it, but maybe if you watch what I'm doing. I mean, it's not rocket surgery. But it is an exercise in patience. And we are having to watch. I do see some little places. We're good. And try not to dump it directly onto the things there. Because that happens. It happens anyway, but. Okay. So we're down to the last little bit. Now, if you've got this much foam by the end, that's okay. As long as it's not got clumps in it. So far we have no clumps. It's a little harder to watch for them when you got this much foam, but you can see them like go through. Just make sure there's none that aren't going away. Obviously, the longer it takes you to do it, the cooler your water gets and the more saturated it gets, so harder to dissolve. So just make sure you're visually watching that there's not clumps. And I'm getting brave in the last bit here. Also getting tired. I feel so bad I haven't even opened my packages for 3 days. There's a reason I had to knock this out tonight though. Alright, so that's pretty much the mix on it right there. I'm not seeing any clumps coming up through in the waves there. Okay. So to make it easy, this go around, it's like I say, you can use this stuff over and over and over. I mean, it's unreal how many times I probably reused the last block. Put you some olive oil, and here's the thing. Okay, wipe it over the area you're going to put it, right? Pretty much the whole, you know, the whole. Yeah. You keep wiping till it's almost gone. And that is one of the big secrets. Right there. Ask Mikey at Canada Ride Boss. So, there you go. Alright, so, another secret. This is a DK. I don't know, I'm sure other people do this. I did a video about this like 300 videos ago, I think. And it might not be time yet. If you catch it at just the right time, you can just, it'll all just kind of come up. It's not there yet, but it's okay because we're going to pour it in there. What you wigger here? Now, again, the problem is when you get the clumping versus this, you're not wasting a lot of stuff here. And we put like a half gallon less liquid in here, so you've got room to play with when you go reconstituting and mixing it back, doing whatever. You can put your little peroxide in there and make you a little extra volume, get you a little more clarity. But if you've got clumps, the problem is if you've got clumps, when you do this, you're taking, now see there's a few, very, I mean that's like hardly anything. But the thing of it is, if you screw around and don't take your time and you've got a bunch of clumps, when you do this, you're pulling out big hunks of your powder too. Gross face. So that's like all the clumps right there. That's like hardly anything. If you have no more than that your first round, you did very well. I had probably, gosh, I don't know, probably, I had maybe like a quarter of the bag the first time, because I just like dumped it in. I didn't know what I was doing. Like I say, I'm getting in a hurry here. If I would give that a little bit of time, it'll pick up together very easily. But it just ain't there yet. But I'm just not there yet either. So. All right. Obviously, you want to pour as gently as possible. Okay, now, see all that? I'm actually going to reach down in there. Get all that out too. And that is nothing short of disgusting. And also nothing short of friggin' glue. This ain't Jell-O. Don't get it twisted. Don't think it's going to be like some Jell-O to get off stuff. It's not like Jell-O to get off stuff. Not at this concentration. Do not scrape this stuff or the stuff from the beaters into this. That is clumpy crap. Get the clear stuff on the bottom and the sides if you can, but not the white stuff. Okay? I got slimed. And this is, you know, how I cook too, so. But, you know, you can play with paper towels all day, but. Already got my hands nasty. Now, when you get down to the last little bit here, you got to be easy because you'll create more if you're not careful. Like that right there. Alright. I'm going to leave it at that, maybe. And if they go to the edges, you can always trim them off too. That's not enough to even like that much bubbling. But the problem is, see, if you get a whole lot of bubbling, then it you know, kills your light flow. So, you know, so basically, you know, obviously it's gonna not look as good. Right, surgery. Okay, so everything is poured in the mold. And what I do is I let it sit and get room temperature, which it's probably not far off from that. I let it sit and get good in room temperature before I put it in the refrigerator. Obviously, be really careful carrying it and don't slosh it around and stuff to the refrigerator. Now, when you put it in the refrigerator, don't close the lid, okay? Come back and open the refrigerator about every 20 minutes. Fan the door a little bit, and let out the like if there's any leftover heat or whatever, because you'll get condensation. Basically, I mean, you put it in there and have the lid closed on it, and it kind of warm or whatever. You'll get condensation on the top of it that will drip down onto the surface after the surface is already halfway hard. So then you get a messed up you get a messed up end product because of that too. So kind of like, you know, getting rain on your new paint job. So there's another little tidbit. All right, so you're going to open it about you know, every 20-30 minutes for, yeah, a couple hours or whatever, until it gets to where it's the same temperature as the refrigerator, and then close the lid and leave it overnight. Bada bing bang boom. And then guess what we'll do with it? Guess. All right, so here we are with the end result. As you can see, this is a very, very clear hunk of gel. So you can see the floor there under it. All I did was pop it out, just, you know, move around the edges, you know, to get it loose from the edges, and turn it upside down, and, you know, supported underneath. I will tell you something. Whenever you get it out, you fingerprint this stuff, okay? And it makes it dingy looking. See that? If you will take a moist paper towel, and sorry, my voice is still screwed up, but take a moist paper towel and you can wipe over it gently and get rid of that, because if you handle it a whole lot, it will mess with your, like if you're doing videos and stuff, it could mess with it. If you're just, you know, shooting it and looking or whatever, it's not going to matter that much. But so that's pretty thick too. Now, like I was saying, you can reuse this stuff a lot, like, and every time you reuse it, like, so this stuff will be gone, like, once, most of this will, a lot of it can come out anyway, but whenever you remelt it, and do it again, most of that, you can just get rid of that. But this one turned out really, really good. If you can do one, if your first time doing one has no more than that in it, then you did really, really good. When I very first started making it, I was taking, like, literally taking cheese knives and trying to, you know, having to cut top layers off because of stuff and everything. Doing the paper towel, you know, and whisking it all off that's very essential. So anyway, there's other methods to doing that too, but again, do not spray your pan or your your mold with Pam. Or pan. Either one. Don't do it. Bad juju. The least amount of virgin olive oil that you can use is what you want to use. And your water, when you're doing, when you're, baking this stuff in or melting it in, you want warm water, but you don't want hot boiling water, okay? Just get it really hot out of the faucet. That's all I do. I don't even put it, it doesn't even touch the stove. It's just hot water. And I've had a lot of prep time trying to with the video stuff and everything, so mine cooled off quite a bit and was still able to do it great with just hot tap water. So there you go. Now we'll see what we can put in this thing sometime this weekend. That's what she said. Yeah, while I got your attention, I'll show off a couple things. There's Joker. A couple things on the wall there. Ooh, look at that guy. Shadow. Rasputin. Double shotgun love. Yeah. Copperhead, we will be shooting this weekend. I hope. Got that guy going on there. Alright, so anyway, guys, I'm DK Spencer. DK Spencer Custom Kinetics.com. Alright, bye.